fellas?
How you doing?
Doing well, guys.
What was your first just overall impressions after watching film of the O-line yesterday?
Not clean enough is kind of the initial gut feeling, the reaction I had yesterday. I thought that our eye discipline wasn't great. We need to improve on our pad level, getting our eyes under chin. On a positive, I thought that we had the competitive stamina that we talk about, and we stayed in the fight, had some positives. I thought the first group really finished well with a good 2-minute drive.
Nate Thomas obviously had a tough matchup against Jared Verse, being thrown in the left tackle spot after missing last year. What have you seen from him, and what did you see specifically against Verse yesterday?
Yeah, I saw someone that is beginning to grow with confidence. Who needs to continue to see the pictures out there and not just the picture that's right in front of his face, but the entire picture that's going to allow him to play faster. But from a physical standpoint, I saw him really match up, and I thought he matched up extremely well. There's some things that, just like Nate and just like everybody, myself included, we need to continue to improve on.
How have you liked Tyler Booker's overall camp here for the year?
I think Tyler this past week especially has made some really significant gains. And there's some things where I believe, he needs to cut it loose and be measured. And we talk in our room quite often about playing to win as opposed to playing to not lose. But you talk about a professional who is at that young age and very pleased with his progression thus far.
And then you've had 11 practices now with BB back as his coach. Is there anything that surprised you coming back here after a year off of not seeing his play?
No, in typical of Cooper Beebe is you're seeing him gain more and more confidence in playing the position. You're seeing him communicate better, something that I know Shadi has really challenged him on, and we have challenged him on as a staff, and just being more and more comfortable. There's Cooper, just like Nate, just like everyone, still has some things he needs to clean up, but been very pleased with him.
Tyler Booker said that he needs to grow on understanding the different fronts from a defense, understanding what's coming at him. How much of that would you attribute to he's a rookie versus Brian said you guys didn't really do a ton of game planning entering this?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both. When you look at his experience, what we've been facing the first 10 practices and then what we faced yesterday, and maybe some different types of techniques that they are playing from a defensive front. And, he was matched up against a pretty good defensive lineman yesterday. So that's going to happen with the growth and maturity. And then it's going to happen with his preparation, his film study, and how he's understanding the game.
Making the jump from the college game to the pro game, how have you graded your first camp, and is it like what you expected going into it?
Yeah, it's very different. And yesterday I even grabbed a few of the guys as we were out on the field and getting excited about the opportunity. I looked around and said, how awesome is this? How cool is this? Don't take this moment for granted, and let's make the most of this particular moment. So, like I said, just no different than what I'm telling these guys is I need to embody that as a leader, as someone within that group, that I have areas I need to continue to grow on, that I have areas that I need to continue to communicate. And that's going to be whether I'm a first year in the NFL coach or I'm in my 20th year. And I think that the best coaches that I've been around, the best coaches that I've seen, have always had that mentality.
What was your reaction when you're at practice, Tyler Guyton goes down, obviously some thought maybe it's season ending, but then you find out, hey, we're going to possibly get him back to work?
Yeah, anytime that you see an injury and you look at the investment that somebody has put in, the first reaction is my heart goes out to him. And, talking to him there briefly, just had a message that there's a plan and we don't know what that is, and continue to believe in positive thoughts. And then obviously with that, we're very excited about where he's at.
What do you say to the fans who read the media reports and saw a little bit of video like, Cowboys say they want to be a run team, couldn't really run yesterday? What do you tell them to work? Yeah,
it's, be patient. Be patient, and we are going to continue to grow, and we are going to continue to improve every single day, and we are challenging the guys, and the mentality that the guys have is the right mentality. And when we look at some of the details and the discipline within those details, eye discipline, pad level, those are disciplines that, yes, we need to continue to improve upon.
You've been going against a 4-3 defense. You face a 3-4. Does that cause a big change for the offensive line?
There's a little bit of nuance to it, and I think that we'd be remiss to say that, but I'm not going to use that as any type of excuse, and I'm not going to allow our guys to do that. What we're going to do is control the things that we can control. What can we control? Where are my eyes going? Where are my hands going? What does my base look like? Is my pad level where it needs to be?
For the layperson, when you talk about eye discipline, how much of it is individual based and how much is it collectively based as you're trying to build a collective chemistry? I think we could pinpoint and go through the film and say, okay, it was this person on this one, and then shoot, it was this person on that one, and then it was this person. Boy, we're so close. And I told them the message today, guys. Close only counts, and what do they say? Horseshoes and hand grenades, right? That was very new to some of them, which was surprising. But it's true. It's true. We have to play as a unit. We can't be 4 out of 5. We can't be, hey, this is really close. This is really close. Boy, look at this backside block that we had. It's phenomenal. But then, you know what? Because of our eyes on the front side, we're not getting the positive plays that we need.
What are your initial impressions of Collins?
I'm sorry? Oh, LC, phenomenal. Felt phenomenal. And what I'm seeing is he's getting his legs back underneath him right now. He's got experience. He's a great leader. He's awesome in the meeting room. So excited to have him here.
These reps obviously would have been so important for Guyton out here, but how much value can he still take in the mental reps and being in the meetings?
That's one thing that I really appreciate about TG right now is how he is responding in the meetings, and it's incumbent upon myself and the rest of the guys in the room to continue to keep him engaged and to say, okay, hey, TG, what are you seeing here? Hey, TG, what do you see on this particular call? So it is what it is right now. And what he needs to do is take advantage of any opportunity that he's having. And I told him at the when we broke meetings this morning that I was very pleased with how engaged he is and how he is attacking his rehab.
With so many injuries in the rotating door with the guys that went out early, how has that made things tougher or more challenging on you as a first-year coach here in the pro?
Yeah, I guess it's a challenge, but I'm going to answer a question with a question. Who's going to feel sorry for the Dallas Cowboys? So why would I feel sorry for us? We got professionals in that room. When an opportunity arises, you never know when that's going to be. You better be prepared. And that's been the consistent messaging, and I'm not going to feel bad for myself allowing, our guys to feel bad for themselves. So it's, hey, next guy is up, and any adversity that you may face in that role, then you need to grow and get better in spite of it.
What has stood out most to you, and this, I know it's early, but is Brian Schottenheimer as a head coach?
Phenomenal leader. Very consistent in his messaging and his discipline. And you look at it and the challenges of being a head coach at this level and his consistency, it's very, very admirable. And then from an offensive mind is the word that comes to mind is brilliant.
Apologize if you were asked this before, but what's the biggest difference between coaching pros and college kids? Is anything about your style had to change?
Here's the number one thing. And when this opportunity arose, I did reach out to a few people. And the one thing that they said is make sure you're going to be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. You're the coach that you are. You got this opportunity because of that. Be yourself. And that's one thing that you consistently remind yourself of as a football coach.
We've seen Brian make it a point to have the coaches sort of cross to the other side of the ball, interact with the guys on the other side. What's that been like? Have you enjoyed getting to meet and know some of the defensive
Absolutely
guys
love
maybe
it.
You wouldn't have otherwise?
Well, when Shotty talks about the connection within the football team and taking a profession that, hey, have relationships. And sometimes, especially as an offensive line coach, it's very easy that you get very tribal. And tribal meaning just with that group. So his encouragement and asking us to go build those relationships. And now when I'm seeing guys in the hall, they're just not a face. it's, how much do we work with the defensive backs? Well, I love going over there, dapping those guys up every single day, saying a short message to them very briefly, and it really builds that connection within the football team.
When will you surf on the backboard like Darian Thompson did?
I'm sorry, do what?
When will you surf on the backboard like Darian?
I am not anytime soon. Not anytime soon. No, I don't know if there's, it's in that bag drill. You'd probably have to get a couple of linemen to hoist me up, and they're busy going through the bags. So I don't want to, put any of the coaches on IR trying to hoist me up.
What's been your favorite part of your first camp?
Just the away from the field is continuing to build relationships with the guys. Is we have an extra amount of time with these guys that you're spending, you're getting to know them, you're building those relationships. There's phenomenal young people on this football team and within the offensive line room, and I truly enjoy getting to know them, whether it's getting to meetings 10 minutes early and talking about whatever we're talking about, football, non-football related.
I'm sure you had some idea of Tyler Smith before you got here, but now being around him, what is your impression? What stands out to you about him?
Unique. That's what it is. He's got a unique skill set. He is extremely tough. He's a professional. He and I've talked about some things that I believe he can continue to tighten up that's going to only elevate his game, but the ability that he has is very unique.
And then same question, but Terrence Steele.
T. Steele, once again, he's a guy that I had a familiarity with going into this, him being at Texas Tech, although we didn't really cross paths a ton, knew some coaches who knew him, and he's a more veteran guy within that group, and his desire to continue to want to be coached, to continue to want to be challenged with his ability, his experience, the successes that he's had, the adversities that he's had, has been extremely impressive.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Appreciate you guys. Good.